Welcome to Pookie, baby. And I'm yours. Knocked his ass out and kissed him on the cheek. He fucked up just by thinking I was sweet. I run the city, might have thought I was some cleats. You never heard someone like this upon the beat. Tutti fruity, the booty duty is jury duty. Moody foodies, jacuzzis is filled with bougie booties. All of this money, don't know how to count it, man. I think I need a computer. I can't live in deep, man. I live at the funeral. I got no need for a shooter. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. The whole label, drug dealers, If you build it, homie, they will come. If you turning up to save me some. Drop down to get your ego on. I don't care for boring people. I think you're lame. I only politic with goons while out the frame. Better take another shot, bitch. It's not a game. I'll beat it out the frame. Baraka, waka, flock of flame. I am a legend, man. You know that I have a problem with acting a fool. I don't talk to police. I know nothing. I swear to God that shit is not true. I'm a barbarian, hopping adrenaline, looking for something to do. I'm remarkable. I'm on a roll. If you need education, I'll take you to school. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Wake up, brush off, get clean, look good. Put on 2 chains, flexing, but what's up? So fly, 2C, be you, look good. I win, you lose, fuck you, what's up? I don't care for boring people. I think you're lame. I only politic with goons while out the frame. Better take another shot, bitch. It's not a game. I'll beat it out the frame. Baraka, waka, flock of flame. I'm the shit, I'm the shit, I'm the shit, I'm the shit. Now I think I will go catch a body. Fuck your bitch, fuck your bitch, fuck your bitch, fuck your bitch. And then I will go take a potty. No teriyaki, ya rock Kawasaki. If you're go you can hop in the shotty. She popping the molly, we'll cop in the squatty. Oh, cookie, loving the body. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger, getting bigger. Sing this. 1 time. 2 time. 3 time. Hey.
What is happening, you guys? And welcome to another episode of the Fans Tailgate. I am your host, El Capi Maitan, and tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, got a couple of issues. First issue, check out the new threads. Got me a new jacket, been looking at this one for a little bit. Finally broke off the hip and, stepped up the game, looking fresh for you guys. Changes be coming to the channel all the time with programming, with extra curriculum activities, and prettyfulness. You're welcome. Actually, I was just in the back with Ali in color. And, Late Night Exhale is going to be coming back, and Ali is getting ready. Boy, he got some good coming for the neighborhood. Like, what's his name? Mr. Rogers. There it is. He going to be good in the neighborhood like Mr. Rogers. Thank you. But yeah, a couple other things. Some stuff going on with Cook. I don't know if you guys have heard, but maybe it's a little bit of a reason why teams haven't signed him just yet. Cook actually has said some stuff as of recent, not talking about his legal issues, but I have all the information up to date on that. I'm going to get you guys caught up, to know what fitting to be going down. Patriots are chirping up about interests with Cook, and Jets haven't fallen off, and a little birdie is sourcing that there's some mutual interest between Cook and the Jets. Mutually how? I think we know what that is. We know where he wants to be. He wants to be in the 305 down in South Florida, trying to drum up some extra monies. But before we get into the Cook debacle, and we're going to talk about Christian Wilkins and a little bit of his contract situation. And, we'll probably talk about the Jets and the Bills too. Jets fans, oh my God, dude, it is Jets overload right now. That's just infesting my timeline. It's all I can see. Jets. I forget that I hate the Jets the most. Like, it's been Bills fans as of recent memory. It's been Patriots for the most part. But damn it, dude, I can't stand the Jets. Because now that they got a little sunsing because they got Rodgers around, we forget the thing that the Jets is the most annoying is that they just jam it all. It's all over the place. It's everywhere on the meat. Shut up. The Jets suck. They're going to Jets up this whole situation. The only thing they're going to be better than is the Patriots. That's it. And the Patriots are going to be down in the dumps this year. They suck. Shit, they might give the Bills a run for their money, and we'll see what happens with the Madden curse. But oh my God, I'm so sick of the Jets. Sick of hearing about them. But before we get into all that stuff, make sure you guys are catching all the great content we're bringing to you around the network. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, make the mile journey on over here to YouTube and get in. We're close to 5,300 subscribers. Myself, El Capitan, with the Finn's Tailgate coming to you Sunday nights. Going to be going to you Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sundays here directly because the season is upon us shortly. You got Color and Ali with Top of the Tailgate in the morning. That'll be back on schedule tomorrow. Keep a lookout, guys. You got Lewis, aka the Rabid Dolphin, and Shake Money coming to you in the afternoons, a couple times a week. You can catch them with some panels on Fridays and Saturdays. The fellas is out here, and KP, who we still got to figure out how to work KP up in this month. Cash App, Venmo, the Finn's Tailgate, great ways to support the program. Other great ways to support the program is the Super Chat. You guys hit the little Super Chatty. You get your comment up. You want to get my attention. I'm doing a lot of things, lots going on. Timeouts, we have panels. The panels are open panels and timeouts be in effect. You want someone off that panel, you throw it a couple dollars, dollar for dollar on timeout minutes. So you want them gone for 2 minutes, that take $2, and you can shut that person up. Also, guys, join the membership. Great way here on YouTube to support the channel and the network is by joining the membership. We really appreciate all of our members. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the moderators who keep the YouTube streets clean in the tailgate. We don't mind a lot of hustle and bustle and ball breaking. So I don't want to see people getting timed out for no reason. I don't like that. But, somebody coming in and they're obviously just here to bring down the program, just saying terrible stuff in chat. They're not someone you've seen before. They're an obvious troll. That guy's got to go. So, or you guys can support the show through Fanatics link in the description at the website, tftgnetwork.com, where you can find all our gear and stuff. You can find the link to Fanatics to help support the program. You guys can also find the link for W Energy Drinks, where if you use offer code TFTG, finna get 10% off your purchase. Thank you. And you can find that link at tftgnetwork.com or in the description on the YouTube page. You can find all these links as well. And also check out our friends at Backroom Collections. If you use offer code TFTG, you'll get your one-of-a-kind canvas artwork from them at 10% off. And as I've been saying, guys, you can find cool stuff like the Cook and Folk apron on the TFTG Network site. Make sure you guys are checking that out.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Finn's Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. with a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor. We're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process makes shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Finn's Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Boom. So yeah, guys, check out all the cool gear we got. We'll have new stuff coming all season. TFTGnetwork.com. Going to be putting some blogs on there, some articles you guys can find, updates. There's a countdown ticker to football start. Just check out the website. We're proud of it. A lot of work went into it, and we want you guys to enjoy it and use it. And other affiliates of the Tailgate Network, the Fans Tailgate Network, will be associated with the website soon enough, and you guys will really appreciate the community we're hoping to build here at Fans Tailgate. So before we get going, everybody make sure to hit the like button. Let's shout out to everybody in chat. John Featherland, what's up, my guy? Salute. The brains of Brian's brains. What's going on, buddy? Bihana, family member up in this sup, salute with the banana pistol. Ali the Persian, affiliate show member in this, one of the OGs up in this salute Ali, who's hanging in back. And then we got Michael K. Yo, El Crappy Tan. This could be the best name yet. You can call me 2IQ for short. So Tua IQ. So 2IQ for Tua. Got you. It might be. I don't know. I've seen some good ones. I know you'll change them up, especially with Dolphins channels around, just not allowing you to come up. Color, do you need to say something? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna call. From now on, Michael K. I came up with a decent username for anybody that's just coming on board to the Dolphins community. But I thought just now I should reserve it for Michael K. Michael K. shall be ever from this moment forward be known by the Finn's Tailgate as Peduncle Bob.
Peduncle Bob?
Peduncle Bob.
It's too much, Color. It's too much of a mouthful. I'll be like, Bob to Michael K. I got to think of something.
Uncle Bob. Instead of Uncle Bob, it's Peduncle Bob.
Now, see, I was thinking of a nickname for Michael K not too long ago, and I was thinking MK Ultra, but I got to find something funnier other than Ultra
Well,
to
see,
do
I
MK.
happen to know I know he's happy. I happen to know he's furiously looking up what a peduncle is right now. And
He don't know how to look up nothing, Color. What are we talking about?
When he gets there.
He don't know how to look anything up. He's waiting for you to tell him. You're his fucking daddy. What you talking about? Let me get back to shouting out chat. And John Featherland, he says, you smash the like button. Thank you, John. Let these motherfuckers know, please. Cap for life. Salute, my guy, Cap. I just want to know where the same energy people had for Deshaun Watson when his accusations got him labeled and suspended. It's sad to see the hypocrisy in the fan base. The favoritism is so obvious. Cap brings up a great point. The absolute crucifying of Deshaun Watson, not just by the fan base, though. Let's be real. The entire NFL fan bases around were just destroying the man. And rightfully so. There was some very, very crazy stuff. But to your point, some of the stuff coming out about Dalvin Cook and the allegations and the mess that we're going to get into, there's some pretty crazy stuff there too. So we're gonna dive into that. Liz, hello. Another member in here. What's up, Liz? Good thin flipping evening, everybody. El Cat, did you get the jersey pick? On Twitter? Did you send it to me on Twitter? Or did you tag me in it? I don't know. I don't think so. I can't remember. Did you order that off of Fanatics? I think you said you did. Shake Money, member and family member up in this month. Salute, Shake. Who else up in this month? Aquavision, my guy. What's up, Aqua? Lewis, member and family member. Checking in. Appreciate you, Lou. Lewis is with his wife on her birthday. Happy birthday, Mrs. Lou. Miss Lou. Who else up in here? Dolphins #1 fan. Salute. Good evening, TFTG. Duke Thompson. What's up, Duke? Jamie, salute, my brother. What's going on? Frost, that you know. Good evening to you as well. Kevin Lee, what's up? Salute, buddy. Yes, 6 weeks till week 1, and we got all this training camp coming up. Can't wait. John, what's going on? Going to your first game, John. Really? Which game? Let us know. We'll try to set up the fan dam to get up with the family. What's good? Crypto, what's going on, homie? What up? Where's the bobblehead? Right here, Crypto. There he go. Mr. Bobbly. Well, let's stick him right here, just creeping on you, watching you guys. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Mark, what's up? Salute. Let's have a naming rights contest. All right. I'll name it. I'll get on this one right now. What you mean? Maybe we'll find a whole thing to have a couple of names, and we'll do a community poll to find out which of these names we're gonna just be truth upon Michael K over here. Colin, what's up, buddy? What's happening? Need to buy a new pair of shoes for this season. That ain't no right, boy. Need a new shoey, boy. Can't wait for that. That shoey gonna get double work. You're gonna need a new pair because you're gonna have to do the one shoe, and that thing just gonna get whoa out, and you're gonna have to get the other one because you're gonna be shoeing your ass off. You're gonna be straight hammered. Jets gang, when did Rodgers say he want to play with the Dolphins? I never said that. Jeez, you know what, Jets gang? I love you coming around, but God, this is the problem with Jets fans. You guys just don't fucking listen. You just don't listen. Salute, Jets gang. Dolphineer, my guy, what's going on? Oh, first Fins game in LA. Oh, word. Dang. Everybody on the west side, holla at the Johnny over this Level 2 noob saying happy birthday to the Lady Lewis. New attitude. What's going on, buddy? DTA said, oh, yes, that's right. He did send it to me, Liz. Yes, I did get the picture. You're 100% right. He did send it to me. Yeah. Yeah, I did get it. So I'm going to bring the fellas in from the back because I know they need to only stay on for a short while because they got the early bird special coming for y'all. So everybody, please hit the like button. Share the video if you're watching. Put it on other social media things. Yeah, John, I would 100% take a first round pick for Wilkins, but not right now. And, here's the deal. A first round pick sounds great in theory, but this is a team that needs to win today, needs to win this year. Now, if come the trade deadline, they trade him away because we see Raekwon's taking a step, and we also see that, Sealer's handling more snaps, and whoever we brought in, whether it's an Akins or maybe John Jenkins gets figured out, something like that. Like, all right, then yeah, maybe we can trade him a little earlier than the trade deadline. But at this point, we can't accept a first round pick right now for Christian Wilkins. We gotta hang on to this guy for the time being. He's only getting paid $10 million. That's a good deal for us. That's a great deal for us. He's a good player. Is he worth more than 10, 12 mil a year? I personally don't think so. I know people are saying 16, 17. Some people are like, pay the man. What he's worth 20. You're out of your mind. I ain't paying him all that money. No, thank you. No, thank you. So I'm going to bring the fellas up. Ali, Color. What do you guys think? Trade Christian Wilkins for a first-round pick?
Not until you have understanding who the backup is, but yeah, sure. I think you said it best. Once we see what Raekwon Davis is doing, and once you see Siler and whoever we bring in, because technically, regardless of what you do, this is a defensive tackle room that is short. We only have 3 on the roster technically that can actually make it. Now there are some people that are undrafted free agents that might be something, but I'm not holding my breath yet on that.
So Level 2 Noob made a good point. He said, don't trade him till the deadline. If you're going to trade him, more value if he's performing. But also, Noob, on the flip side of that, what if he goes down with injury? You feels? I really don't. I hear you, because then we could get maybe a first and a third and a fifth or something crazy like we got for Chubb. That would be awesome. But
the reality is it's a no-win situation right now, Cap. That's basically
really
what it is. Your best option is hope to God he performs the hell, like hell, and he doesn't get injured. And if you trade him, you trade him. But I don't know if they are going to trade him, bro. I keep going back and forth on, are we trying to change up what they want out of the defensive line, or is it just, are we just holding it up because we're trying to win and we can't afford to put anybody in long-term, contract right now? That's where I'm at right now. I keep going back and forth with it.
What do you think, Color? Chris in chat says, I'd pay him. Him and Phillips are studs. I mean, I'm not saying Christian Wilkins isn't good, but he's not as good as his contemporaries. And there's a real problem with paying a Christian Wilkins because of his age. That's pretty much the problem. He's good. He had a lot of tackles last year and the year before. But I also put stock into he had a lot of help with Zach Sealer being added to this whole thing. And to me, I'm just not interested in paying him that kind of money at all, like even a little bit. Like, to me, he is
the longer
he's a $15 million a year guy, personally.
And here's the thing: the longer we wait, the more expensive it's going to get. I don't know if you saw the reports that are coming out of Kansas City, but their star defensive tackle, what's his name, Chris Jones or whatever his name is, he's thinking about holding out of training camp because he wants a new deal.
So I guess we'll start with the Christian Wilkins thing, because I was going to save it for last, but hey, whatever. Christian Wilkins is not expected to hold out. He's expected to play. Now, I wouldn't expect anything else from the guy. He's definitely that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of guy that's not going to hold out. It's just how he's been. But also, not for nothing, Christian Wilkins is notoriously tight with his money, notoriously frugal. He is not going to be paying $50,000 a day, and then because he thinks he's going to get a contract of that $10 million he's going to get. He's just not going to do it. He's rather just make his 10, let contract talks try to go into the best. But to me, I don't think. And listen, I hate to point it out from a Bills fan, but 3.5 sacks is not good. It's just not. And I know he's not a pass rusher, but his contemporaries are getting 8 sacks per season average, while he's getting like 2.75 sacks per season average. That is not good. It is not. And I get that he had an absolute jump in the last 2 years in tackles, but honestly, I don't know what to say. He had 16 tackles for loss last year, okay? And that's good. He had like 90 tackles, but half of them are assisted tackles.
Right.
So I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in a tackling machine. We talk about all this stuff about tackling machine, but who gets a lot of tackles, who got paid, and Dolphin fans are mad about it? Jerome Baker. And Jerome Baker, to me, he's the only one in the defensive linebacking core that can do what he does. Maybe the new guy Long can do it. I hope so. I think AVG will, but he definitely can. He's been doing it as the main staple middle linebacker for this team for quite some time. And, to me, that's a tackling machine. And that's the guy I want to be a tackling machine as a linebacker. I need my defensive tackles to be disruptors. That's what I need. And he's had ample opportunity to be that guy on defensive lines that weren't that great, or whatever you want to look at, or it was him and Ogba or him and whoever else is there. He needs to be more. And he hasn't, and his time has run out. And it looked no further. The Dolphins agree, because they're not going to pay him either. They're not. And that's it. I love Christian Wilkins, but I would venture to say this: if Christian Wilkins was a more, not so much a rah guy, and he was just a lunch pail guy, I don't think anyone would be talking about him at all.
Right.
I think just like the minimal amount of talk Raekwon gets, the minimal amount of talk that Zach Sealer gets, he would get the exact same. The only reason that this guy is getting the chatter is he's a first-round pick, 13th overall by the Dolphins, and he's a rah guy. That's just it, bro.
Yeah, that is exactly what it is, Cap, right to the money. He's nothing absolutely elite or special. It's just that he's a first-round pick, like you said, and he's, fan friendly. You know what I mean? That's basically what it comes down. He's fan and team friendly so much that everybody loves him, and it's hard.
I love the guy.
Yeah, I do too. It's just hard to let someone go, because you like the guy so much. And I was going back. I've been trying to figure out the defensive tackles that were under Vic Fangio in the past. I don't think they're really like the mold of a Christian Wilkins. I don't think they are. I see the defensive tackles that they used primarily are more like I'm going way back, but you guys remember Paul Soliai, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of a guy, big nose tackle,
a zero tech guy.
Yeah, that's the kind of guys I've seen him use. And, who I think, fits better in this scheme is going to be guys like Phillips and Ogba. Those guys are really going to, flourish in this defense. I just don't know if Christian Wilkins or even as Zach Seiler will, to be honest. Zach Seiler, honestly, if the money makes way more sense to pay him than it does Christian Wilkins, the amount of money that it's going to command.
Yeah, and a lot of that's going to be determined by camp. It just is what it is. I mean, we really, I mean, here Fangio is not at Fangio. Doesn't seem to be an impulsive guy. He's going to get in. He hasn't been here.
Yep. Fangio's like, show me what you can
just
do.
Watch film on our past defenses and know what we have. He has to get down in the dirty and know what
I'm
we
sure
got.
he can, but in the same breath.
But how are these people going to react to his commands, his voice? He can only watch how they've reacted to other coaches.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point, Color. He hasn't been here. Camp's around the corner. Maybe Vic Fangio asked the team, "Hey, don't pay anybody. I want to see what I have first. I need to see him in pads and everything, and then we will go and add more people or re-sign people to longer term." Maybe that's what it is. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, like you know how to play slot machines. But if you knew, hey, you could either go out with a whole bunch of money right now and play the slots, or you can wait a week because in your mailbox there's going to be all the statistics of how many times those slot machines have won. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're probably going to wait a week and wait for that information. I'm
going to be 100% honest. This whole situation with Christian Wilkins doesn't make sense whatsoever. If you think about it, if you know you wanted to sign him, you would be leaking it left and right that you're looking to sign him. We're just working out the numbers and everything. That's all it is, right? Mm-hmm. But you haven't heard a peep. And in my opinion, the only reason you haven't heard a peep is one, you're looking for the proper trade partner, or you don't know if really you want to sign him to the biggest deal, that you're going to have to. You know what I mean? There's nothing makes sense about why we waited this long. It doesn't.
Right.
So right now, all we can do is speculate. That's basically what it is.
So real quick on a side note, just to clear something up from earlier, just in case Michael K needed to know. That.
Ooh, I think that name right there is a really good name for Michael K. Blowhole.
What that is the peduncle. That just so you can
Michael
see,
the
ladies and
Blowhole
gentlemen,
K.
The peduncle is the backside. I get it.
The peduncle, yes. Which, if you were to do an X-ray of that area of the dolphin right there, you would find its anus.
Ah. All right.
Yeah, Michael K spends a lot of time in the bathroom. You might want to use tail fluke
now
as well. That might be a good one.
Now it rings off the tongue a little better, doesn't it? Peduncle Bob.
It does. It does. I'm digging it a little bit more. Maybe MK Peduncle.
Cap for life, blowhole bills.
I see that. The blowhole bills. Yeah, because we expel you. So here's just an idea. Now, Quentin Williams just got paid, and now he is the highest paid defensive tackle. His value of his contract is $96 million. His guarantees are $66 million, and his average cap hit is $24 million. So he can make a lot of money. But that 65 mil price that a lot of these guys are signing for, that's what they're getting. But here's something now, and Jeffrey Simmons signed it earlier in the year for a $94 million value, excuse me. He has 59.33 guaranteed $1 million, and his average salary is around 23.5. So relatively similar, with about just over $6 million in guarantees less than Quentin Williams. And to me, Jeffrey Simmons is way better. Now, here's a guy who I think is way better than Quentin Williams, and I like him. Darren Payne from Washington. He's got $90 million in value. He's guaranteed $59 million, and he's averaging 22.5 a year. Now, another guy who just signed is Dexter Lawrence. He got $87.5 million for the Giants. He's got $60 million guaranteed, which is a lot. Number one on the list of most in guaranteed money is Aaron Donald, because it's only a 3-year deal. He's, it's a contract up to $95 million, and he is guaranteed $95 million of it. So he got all that money. They paid him for the Super Bowl. They paid him to stay. They paid him to be the guy. But, DeForest Buckner, who signed a deal, he got $44 million guaranteed. I want to say he signed it last year. It's an $84 million contract, counting $21 million to the cap. So these guys are around 21, 21, 21, 22, 22.5, 23.5, 24 as we get higher up the list. You want to know what all those guys have in common outside of Aaron Donald, and these guys are all in the top 5 and being paid? They're all 25 years old. They're all 25 years old. I'm looking at the top 10 highest paid guys, starting with Vita Vea, going from 10 to number 1. Vita Vea is 26. Jonathan Allen is 26. He's number 9. Chris Jones is 26. Okay. DeForest Buckner is 25. Javon Hargrave is 30. But he just got paid to stay with or to go to the San Francisco 49ers. Dexter Lawrence, 25. Darren Payne, 25. Jeffrey Simmons, 25. Aaron Donald, 31. Quentin Nelson, top of the list, 25. So it hurts Christian Wilkins, because let me find somebody who's relatively his age. Okay. Dalvin Tomlinson, who plays for the Browns, signed a 4-year deal, $57 million. 27.5 of it's guaranteed. He amounts for 14.25 against the cap every year. He is 29 years old. Grady Jarrett, who's playing for the Falcons, 29 years old. He's got a $50.5 million contract. He has 34.5 in guarantees. That's a deal I would take, a $50 million deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's only amounting for 16 mil against the cap. I mean, Cameron Hayward, who is a game record, he's costing that team for his 4-year deal, which he'll retire at. First of all, it's only 26 million guaranteed that he got. 16.4 a year against the cap. You sign Christian Wilkins, he was going to be on the inside of the top 10, and everybody from Jonathan Allen up is 19 million all the way up to 24 million a year against the cap. And I'm sorry, but Christian Wilkins just isn't the rest of these guys. And the stats prove it.
Mm-hmm.
The stats are where it's at. Now, I like Christian Wilkins. I think he's a great guy. I just, if he's such a good team guy, why doesn't he take, a Grady Jarrett type of deal? Where, he's only going to count for 16.8 against the cap for a 3-year deal. That's exactly what I want. Grady Jarrett, 29 years old, on a 3-year deal, amount for $50.5 million contract where he's getting 16.8 a year with 34.5 in guarantees. That's the type of deal I want from him. Not what these other guys are getting. Sorry. Christian Wilkins getting paid what he's getting paid. Now he's his guarantees this year because we already gave it to him. But he's still 33rd on the list.
Yeah.
And getting paid.
Mm-hmm. It's a big wonder. I mean, I mentioned this guy earlier, but Chris Jones is looking for more money, and he's already getting $28.5 million this year, bro. And he's holding out for a new contract.
Yeah, but you know what, Chris Jones? Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
Chris Jones had 15.5 sacks. He was a finalist for defensive player of the year, bro. I understand. I get why he wants the money, but all it's going to do is make us waiting to sign Christian Wilkins even more expensive.
My problem is that people want to put Chris Jones and Christian Wilkins in the same.
They're not, but it's going to cost us more because he's going to reset the damn market. That's the problem.
Already with a $96 million contract amounting for $24 million a year against the cap for Quentin, whatever the fuck his name is, Williams.
Quentin Williams. Yeah.
Yeah. It's already hurt the cap. But I mean, look, total tackles. And it's not like he's got 1 million tackles every year. That's the number I want people to understand here. Okay. The Chiefs, who have gone to however many, Super Bowls these past few years and have won 2 of them. How many have they gone to? 3, 4 now?
Three, and they won 2 out of 3.
And they won 2. Okay. Yeah. He's been, Chris Jones has been with the team since 2016, pretty much the entire playoff run and getting Patrick Mahomes and winning Super Bowls. Am I right?
Mm.
These are his total tackles in those years, starting from 2016, working up to 2022. 27 total tackles, 29 total tackles, 38 total tackles, 34, 36, 26, 37. And all but he played all the games except for missing like 1 or 2 some of the years. The most he missed was in 2019. He missed 3 games, and he still got 34 total tackles. Now, of those tackles, I would say 2/3 of them are solo tackles, while the rest are that. But here's where this man has made his living. Since 2016, as a rookie, he had 2 sacks. He followed that up his sophomore year with 6.5. Then his junior year, 15.5 sacks. Then in 2019, he had 9. Followed it up in 2020 with 7.5. 2021, he had 9 again. And then last year, he had 15.5. So outside of the one rookie year where he had 2, the man has been averaging, God, that's got to be at least 8 or 9 sacks a year with the 2 15.5 years he had in 18 and 2022. He's got 65 sacks. So, yeah, that's a guy that if he wants money, I might pay him because he's a game wrecker. Sacks are game wreckers. And I'm sorry, but Christian Wilkins is not doing that. And it's hurt his bottom line. It's hurt his bottom line. It really has. I get that you have all these tackles, but here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. When you think about the Dolphins and you're going against the Dolphins, what up, Iceman? And you're like, hey, yeah, I'm the Chargers. Ugh, God, it even says nasty to say. I'm a Chargers fan, and man, Justin Herbert's gonna be good against them, and he's gonna throw a lot of touchdowns. But we got to look out for what on defense? Do you think they say Christian Wilkins? Do you think any fan of any team or any offensive coordinator is going against the Dolphins defense and thinking like they had to think, hey, we got to watch out for Christian Wilkins? No, they're thinking, hey, look out for Ramsey. Hey, look out for Xavier Howard. Hey, watch out for Bradley Chubb and fucking Jalen Phillips coming off the edges. That's what they're looking out for. They're looking out for our DBs and they're looking out for our pass rushers. They're not that they're just not. They're not so worried about Christian Wilkins. And I'm not saying, hey, poo-poo on them. They're gonna regret overlooking him, but I'm sorry, he's just not the guy that you want to pay the money that these guys are getting right now. It's just not it. He is a perfect tradable piece to a team that is lacking an identity on a defense that has a young quarterback or whatever. He can either be your final touch piece or he can be your if you're a team that's great against the pass, you got a great offense and run game, but against the run, you're losing football games, get a Christian Wilkins. And I get it. People are like, oh, remember all those years we were terrible against the run? Guess what? Nobody fucking runs no more. How you going to run on the Dolphins when we're scoring up points with our offense? I ain't got to worry about that. You know what I need? I need someone to kill drives. Kill their drives. Not kill a down, kill a drive. And he ain't doing it. El Cap. Wilkins is money for a reason. He's tradable because he's an awesome hello. Yeah, I know. He's going to be great somewhere else. That's it. Not into it. So what you really saying, El Cap? I'm saying let the man play on his $10 million deal and then reconvene on what happens at the end of this year. Unless somebody around the trade deadline is like, we need Christian Wilkins. We'll give you a first, a third, a fifth, a sixth for him. And now I'm like, all right, as long as we have somebody in place to take it. But for right now, I say keep him. Keep him all the way to the end of the year. You're only paying him $10 million. That's a bargain for a guy that can do what he does. But until then, come the end of the year, I'm transition tagging that guy. Maybe I'd franchise tag him because it might be something worth franchising because I feel like the Dolphins are that close, per se, where I'm willing to mortgage my future for 2025 and, find myself in some form of cap hell to keep Christian Wilkins on the team. Or maybe we're kind of there, but not, and you plan on making a first-round pick for a defensive tackle, but you want to pay Tua. So then transition tag Christian Wilkins, in which case you're still kind of doing right by the guy, and you get something in return. If a team is desperate or in the market for a Christian Wilkins and they want to give him $24 million a year or whatever and give him some 95 or $100+ million deal, because that's probably what it'll be next year if he does well enough, then say, well, Christian, we loved having you, but God bless you on making, $68 million guaranteed for the next 4 years. You deserve it, buddy. And we're going to get a second round pick for you. That's how everybody wins. But right now, I don't care about Christian Wilkins winning. No skin off the guy. I got to think about me and my fan base and my team. And I want to keep him unless they give me something I can't say no to. And come the end of the year, we'll reconvene. Because look, if he blows up, if he freaks out, he gets a 12.5 sack season, and he's just a game wrecker. If he's, at the end of a game against the Jets, Rodgers is, marching down the field, he's within striking distance, and it's a win and get in type of playoff scenario, and he just blasts up the middle and seals a victory. Then he goes into the playoffs and does some shit like that again. Then, yeah, the guy, and you turn around and you look at his stats like, damn, he had fucking 45 total tackles. He had 12.5 sacks. He had 2 batted passes. He's had a forced fumble. We can't let this man go. Then I'll pay him. But I can live without Christian Wilkins that I've been living with. If he shows me something I can't live without, well, that's good old American capitalism at work. Booyah. What do you think, boys? Ali, Color, what do you boys think?
Sorry about that, man. I was taking care of dinner.
I agree wholeheartedly, dude. I think you're absolutely spot on with that take, man. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? What do you think, Ali? I mean, it's hard to just agree. It's hard to disagree just for the sake of it, but
yeah, I agree
really
with that.
What you said.
I mean, there's really nothing else you can do with that. I agree completely.
Fucking Michael K says, I put you boys to sleep. Yeah, I get it. And who was it? Jose. I know he's improved every year, but he's not giving me anything I don't think I can live without. I think if I'm gonna pay, say Christian Wilkins' price point was 18 million, we got him to take 18 million, which would be maybe top 10. I don't know. We'll see who else signs a contract, because somebody signs a contract here next year and they're getting 18.5, then Christian Wilkins will be outside of the top 10. He would be the 10th highest paid guy. The way these guys are getting paid, they're all getting 19, 20, and up to 24 million right now to be top 10. And he wants to be top 10. I don't see how he's worth that, because if he's going to make 20 million to me, or 18 million, I can keep Sealer, Raekwon, and 2 other like middling guys, or like a veteran and maybe another practice squad Sealer type of guy that's looking to get his opportunity, and probably still end up with $1 million in savings. His price point is literally the budget for the defensive tackle room. If you pay Christian Wilkins this money, you will not be able to keep Sealer. Raekwon could wash himself out anyhow. But if Raekwon steps up, which I expect Raekwon to really show out this year, because it is a contract year, whether he'll be worth keeping around, I don't know. I don't want to fall for the banana in the tailpipe with a guy like Raekwon, I'll be honest. If he plays lights out this year, I would still be leery on paying him big money, or even I wouldn't give him as much money as I'd give Sealer, and I'm thinking Sealer's around 9 mil. That's what I'm thinking for Sealer. So to me, I would rather pay Sealer, pay Raekwon, draft a new young defensive tackle, and get a guy that's a veteran, and I would roll out with that, because I got Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. I've got Xavier Howard and Javon Holland and all these other weapons that I know, Ramsey, that are gonna be so much more impactful in a down in and down out than a $20 million. If I'm going to spend $20 million on somebody else, I'm getting someone else in that secondary. So I have the baddest secondary of all time. You're only going to be able to run against the Dolphins if I spend another $20 million in the secondary. That's what I'm thinking. Fuck out of here with all that other nonsense. Go spend another $20 million in the secondary. Have the baddest secondary. No one can throw nothing. I don't give a shit who you are. And guess what? Tom Brady gone. Rodgers is on his last leg. You've got Patrick Mahomes, but who's the next great thing? It's not like we have a Peyton Manning or somebody like maybe Herbert, but I'm not Herbert throwing interceptions in the fourth quarter. That motherfucker ain't gonna be famous for nothing but being a loser. My point is that you get another $20 million in the secondary on somebody worth their salt, along with Ramsey and Howard. He's fucked. You're gonna have to run on us, and then all I gotta do is just stack the box and play man with my badass secondary. That's it. I'll kill anybody now. I ain't spending $20 million on fucking Christian Wilkins. Get out of here. Get Agba and Zach out of here. You forget Agba has had way more impactful plays than Christian Wilkins has, and Agba missed last year pretty much. He's batted more passes and has more sacks in one season.
Everyone just hates on Agba because he got paid and then he got injured. That's the only reason why they hate on him. Prior to that, we need to re-sign him. He's a pillar of this defense. That's what everybody was saying prior to him getting his contract. The moment he gets paid and he had an injury, oh my God, he's the worst player on the defensive line. Oh my God. Sorry, it gets me all ramped up, bro. I apologize.
You're right. And you know what? Watch what Agba does this year in this Fangio scheme. We might, a lot of people are like, we have an out with Agba. I think you can pay him $4 million. It's either pre or post June. I don't remember. I think it's pre-June. And you're off the rest of his deal on his contract. But you know what else that means? If Agba comes in, Agba knows that. He don't want to go and be a free agent. If he really wants to be a Dolphin, he going to make sure you're not paying him that $4 million. He going to get 8.5 sacks, bat 3 or 4 passes, and get 2 fucking fumbles. And you're going to go, you know what, Agba? We could potentially only pay you $4 million and you could walk. But rather than do that, let's rework this deal and give you the life of the contract with the option out for us. But we're going to front load guarantee and spread this money around. You see what I'm saying? You bring him back to the table with this. Agba could be absolutely on here. And to me, he can be more impactful on this football team. Sorry. I would rather pay Agba 17 mil than Christian Wilkins 20. 10 times out of 10. Wilkins is not a pillar. He's the pillar of somebody else's team. He's not young anymore. He's not. He's not. Let me just look it up real quick. Trying to find out exactly how old Christian Wilkins is. It's just bringing me all his stuff. He's 27 years old right now. This December, he'll be 28 years old. So he'll be 28 on a new deal, or 28 on a whatchamacallit, on a franchise tag or some shit. So I'm sorry, guys, but his stats just don't match up to the output that the position is paying. The guys that get paid because of different type of output, man. That's it, guys. So Wilkins is a captain of the football team. We can't downplay that. Those guys you try to keep. No, listen, CB, how many of these captains one year you see get clipped the next? Happens all the time. Shit, I think we did it 3 years in a row with Flores, where all the captains got booted. Or remember, wasn't it during Philbin? No, it was like for Philbin and Flores. There was like a thing. It was It was like getting on the Madden cover with the Dolphins. You become a captain, your ass is getting clipped. That's only changed recently.
Look, you can be a great locker room guy. You can be a great sideline rah-rah guy. You can be a captain. You can be an up-and-coming player that will end up becoming a coach one day. That doesn't mean that you're a great player when it comes to production, bro. You know what I mean? You can have all the communication skills and all that stuff, but production is what pays. And his production, when it really comes down to what matters, which sacks equal money, he doesn't have the sacks. He doesn't put out the amount of tackles that, you know, other players that are getting paid around here do. And that's the reality of it.
Pamela, I like Christian. I wish he was in an affordable type of thing. But how about this? You keep Christian Wilkins, and it's going to cost you more players than I think you're willing to accept. Like, I don't even like, damn, dude, to me, Robert Hunt is so much more important of paying than Christian Wilkins.
I think a better way to explain it, El Capitan, is what is more important to you? One player signing and keeping him, or the continued success of your team?
So, how about this?
And as far as the raw guy, team guy, we already have that. That's what TD does. The field mascot.
Oh God. Yeah, but that's not really. I know what you meant. I know what you mean.
If he has 10 sacks this year, are you willing to pay him $22 million?
If he puts out that kind of a season, then maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
At that point,
that's a real possibility. Honestly, CB, if he has 10 sacks this year, 10 plus sacks, you know, that's why I used 12.5, because 12.5 is a super impressive number from the defensive tackle position. If he has 10 plus sacks and they're not just, you know, I don't know, whatever, because there's not like we're going against a bunch of easy opponents, but sacks in bunches or something like that. I don't know. An injured guy comes in and he, you know, in one series he pulls off 2 sacks, and then later in the game he pulls off 2 more, so he has a game with 4. Yeah, he wrecked that game, sure. But if it's against an opponent that I thought had no shot anyhow, I got to keep that into consideration. Because if it's only just a sack here and there, you know, 6 more sacks over the season that don't really amount to much for the impact, I'm still willing to pay him, but I don't know if I'm willing to pay him $22 million. You know what I'm saying? Again, all these hypotheticals, he's had 4 years to give me something to play better with hypothetical. That's the fucking problem. He's got to show up and show out that he is the next defensive tackle force to get the money that he wants and to stay on this team. That's what I need to see from him. He's the next defensive tackle that when teams are looking at the Dolphins defense, they're not looking at Ramsey and, when people went against the Rams, they said, you got to look out for Ramsey in the back and you got to look out for Donald in the front. Who are they saying you got to look out for when you go against the Dolphins defense right now? There's a lot of names I could say that you got to look out for. Christian Wilkins is far down on that list.
Mr. Bill says that for me, Wilkins needs to go on a diet. I can completely disagree with that. Wilkins actually does put in the work when it comes to strength and conditioning and putting in technique. I know he works out actually with one of the best trainers for defensive tackles in the NFL. Some very big names actually train with him consistently. So I don't think that's the issue. The issue is that what he does is just not sexy enough to get paid. I mean, that's the reality of it. What he does for this defense, yeah, he's great at stopping the run, but what do you think? What really do defensive tackles do the most to get paid? It comes down to sacks. Even defensive ends, it comes down to the sacks and tackles for loss. That's what really gets you paid. And he, unfortunately, 2 sacks versus.
You want big money as a defensive tackle or a defensive lineman, you gotta get wow numbers.
Yeah.
And tackles are not in the wow number category. You can get forced fumbles. I tell you what, if he, instead of tackling some of these running backs, is grabbing them and stripping the ball from them, we would have a very different conversation. If he was getting 3 turnovers a year on average right now from strip fumbles, I would say, yeah, this guy we should pay him while we can afford him on the cheap. But that's just not it. It's just not. And picking up a fumble is different than forcing the fumble, just so everybody knows, because someone else forced that fumble. Yeah. But if because Fangio's in here, because the scheme changes, because all of this stuff, and we turn around and he is just a game wrecker, then that's different. But I would venture to say how many of those sacks that he's gotten, which is a total of 11 sacks in 4 years. Now you're saying that he's going to get 10 plus sacks. He's going to double his sack total. But even doubling his sack total, that would mean he's got 22 sacks over 5 years. Still is well below the average of what these other guys are getting. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if this Fangio scheme comes in here and it bodes well for him as his position and he becomes that guy, then yeah, do it. But sorry. I'd rather restructure with Agba and keep him. Maybe even make Agba my defensive tackle. He's big enough to do it. We've seen him play it. And I was going to say, how many of those sacks that Christian Wilkins has gotten, these 11, how many of them came from him playing defensive end? Because we've seen him line up as the defensive end. I wonder if that would be the better move for Christian Wilkins. To what Bill says, drop the weight and play as a defensive end, not a defensive tackle. Maybe that's something, but again,
okay, I see where he was going with that.
He has a lot of value in his position. I'm just not interested in paying him the value he's interested in getting. Mm. That's it. So, all right, guys, we've hit the 1 hour mark. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribing if you're new. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, come over to YouTube and check out all the great content we have here on the network. Myself, El Capitan, with the Fins Tailgate. You can catch Color and Ali doing the top of the tailgate in the mornings, getting back on track tomorrow. You'll also have some, middays from Color every now and again, and you can expect Ali to come with the Saturday show here, Late Night Exhale, getting ready as well. You can find Lou, aka the Rabid Dolphin, and Shake Money in the middays. Catch them also on Fridays and Saturdays with open panels. And we're going to get Kahari worked in here sooner rather than later. The Fins Tailgate will be on all the time like it used to, getting back in the swing of things as the season comes. Cash App, Venmo, the Fins Tailgate, great ways to support the program. Another great way is the Super Chat. Use the Super Chat. Become a member of the channel. We always appreciate all the members. We appreciate the Super Chats. Get your comments read. Get you recognized in chat. Also, you guys can find the link to Fanatics at the homepage on YouTube, as well as TFTGnetwork.com, and help support the show in that way by getting yourself some officially licensed gear. You guys can also find Dubby Energy Drink links in the description, in the homepage, and also on the website, TFTGnetwork.com. You'll get 10% off by using offer code TFTG. And you can also get 10% off with Backroom Collections by using TFTG as well. So check them out. Same place you guys can find them. And then, again, guys, go to the website. Check out the website.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
And real quick, before we get on our second subject here, Pamela, it's that right there is why I won't make the mistake of paying Christian Wilkins. All I know is Wilkins makes Josh Allen shaking in his boot. Anybody else can do that. How does he do that? Because we see on TV they had their shoving match and he's always talking to him and everything like that. To me, that's propaganda. It's propaganda. It's just not true. It's not. It's just not true. Dolphins haven't defeated. We need to win the East. We need to defeat that team more than once in a while. And Christian Wilkins has had 4 years to shake Allen in his boots. And watching Allen throw the ball and then them get into a shoving match after the ball left his hands, don't tell me shit other than that he fucking missed him. That's what that means. He didn't get there in time. If he'd have got there a little quicker, then he could have shoved him and they got in a shoving match after he sacked him. That would have been better of a story. Not all the jabberjawing and Allen pushing back at him and all that other nonsense. So I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in paying a guy off of propaganda. This fan base has made that mistake, just wanting to treat players right, wanting to do right by players. I do right by us fans first. How about that? Then we'll worry about everybody else. Take care of number one first, because if you ain't got nothing to give yourself because you've given it all away, then you're going to be the one suffering. And if you got a bunch of people that need from you and you're giving it to them, when you got nothing left to give, you think any of the needy are going to have something to share with you? No. You got to take care of number one first. And Christian Wilkins just ain't taking care of number one for me. So that's it. Wow, Cap, for real. Only 28 likes and over 80 in the room. Get the likes up, guys. Wow. I'm looking at it now. Cap, it says 48, but still, you're right. That's not even, that's like half. I mean, can we get some of these likes up, guys, please?
Yeah, get the likes up. Hit the like button if you want Michael K to change his name to Blowhole.
Yeah. Blowhole K. I mean, shit. Like button's free, guys. You know? Man, we appreciate donations and all that good stuff, but man, the like button is free. That would be at least, nice. And it helps get the show out there. The more times you hit the like button, the more it pushes the algorithm to get the show out there. So that would be great. So you guys gonna hang for a little while longer? You gotta run. What do you gotta do?
I can hang for another 10, 15 minutes.
How about you, Color?
Yeah, I'm good for right now.
All right. So, Dalvin Cook. This has been a weird couple of days with the Dalvin Cook saga. It really has. Have you heard this stuff, Ali, Color? Have you heard the things that are going on with Dalvin?
Yeah, there's conflicting reports. I've read reports that there are these allegations of him offering a certain amount of money for settlement, but come to find out, there's also a report that's stating that the information that's being used to write this report or this information is the same information that was used 2 years ago, because that's how long the settlement's been taking. So this is all old information that's already been proven in court that the accuser has already lied, as well as their lawyers. And then there's other marquee people in the media, will say, if you want to call them marquee, that want to stir up trouble on Roto World, saying that certain people should be suspended for something that happened over 2 seasons ago. We lose you, LCAP?
I think we did. I got you, Ali.
Oh, well, what do you think about this whole thing, Color?
I don't even, man. I'm just so over it, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I honestly think it was just a, you know, if what you're saying is true and it's like regurgitated, then it's obvious that it's just put out there to sour the
Sorry,
real
guys.
money.
I had to let the dog back in the over. I had to get the dog out of here. He's
Who let
bothering
the
me.
dogs out?
Yeah, I let the dogs out. So here's what's been coming around on this Dalvin Cook thing. Okay. So reports started coming out saying there's been chatter about a possible suspension from this stuff. And really what it all goes back to, let's see, hold on. Mike Florio had written an article on this, and it essentially says, well, I'll read the article here momentarily, but let me find it. Where the heck is it? There's been some allegations by a woman, a married woman, who is a police officer, that he had made, he had abused her in some way, shape, or form. And so those allegations were trying to be handled in closed doors. And there was apparently a deal offered. Now, Mike Florio wrote an article on this and gave it into detail because, and here's the counter offer. Okay. And Ali, this is an old thing. You're right. This happened last off season, I believe.
2001 is when it happened.
Yeah, it happened last off season. So, but there was these allegations, and there was a deal trying to be worked out for, I believe it was around $800,000, and the defendants, will say in this instance, did not want that amount of money, and there was language in there. Mike Florio had talked about this. Let me bring it up. Let me see if I can bring this clip up. Let's try this one first. So hold on. Oh no, not this one. This isn't it. That's not the clip. Yeah, here we go. All right. You go ahead and play this. Here's what Mike Florio had to say a little bit about it.
Can't hear the audio.
You can't hear the audio?
No, you go back and do it again. You have to check mark the little box that says play audio when you share it.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Go ahead and hit present.
Yep.
And then when you share screen, you're selecting entire screen, right? That's the one you're selecting?
No, I'm just selecting window.
Okay. Window is not going to play the audio. You have to click entire screen.
Oh my fuck.
You have to check mark the little box that says share system audio.
Well, I don't want to share the whole fucking screen. God damn it.
It's not going to share the whole screen. It's going to share whatever screen you have the video on.
All right, let's see. Share screen, entire screen.
And make sure you click check mark the share system audio.
All right, so this is how it's going to look. Share screen, share entire screen. Click on that. Share.
Yeah, just make sure the video is full screen, and that way it won't show your desktop.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, now just make it full screen. There you go.
All right.
I still can't hear him.
Well, did nothing.
Ugh.
God, dude, this is I want to smash everything. Let's try this again, because I don't see where you're seeing a little checkoff box. Entire screen.
What about,
click.
do you have the share the Chrome tab option?
No, color. I'm not doing that. I have these videos.
Oh, they're on. Okay, you got them locally. I got you.
Yeah. There's no. Everyone else is saying they can hear him. Can you hear him, or is that just
I
fucking
couldn't.
scummy being scummy?
I couldn't
I
hear
think
it.
it's
That's
done.
scummy. That's scummy being.
Scummy, you fuck. You fuck.
Scummy struck again.
You fucker.
With his
All right,
super
let me-
What did, just tell us what he said. Just tell us what he said, LK.
Yeah, Scummy, come up here
Jesus.
and narrate for us.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. God damn it, he fucking got me good. He totally got me. All right, so okay, so essentially there was $800,000 offered, and then there was that offer wasn't taken, and there's language written in there where they keep it lock and key and quiet and everything like that. So in between all of that happened all year, they then upped it to $1 million, and I'm gonna say that they found that insulting because that's when shit started getting leaked. Now, when you're in a scenario where you're trying to work something out without it going to court and trial and all that other nonsense, the part that you're really trying to stop from happening is things becoming public. Well, I think they kind of went ahead and said, we're gonna let this leak out a little bit because this is the kind of damage we can do. Well, it didn't just leak, it leaked all the way. And let me go ahead and pull up this article and I'll read it real quick from Dalvin Cook's free agency potentially will be more complicated by developing and pending litigation. According to Rochelle Oslin of the Minneapolis Star Tribune, a court filing has since been sealed contents that Cook's lawyers offered Graceland Trimble $1 million to send a letter to the NFL relieving Mr. Cook of any wrongdoing. That's what they wanted in the letter. In connection with an incident that has prompted allegations of domestic violence against Cook. Cook has since denied these claims and has sued Trimble and her lawyers for defamation of character. The $1 million offered allegedly came after Cook's lawyers offered $800,000 in exchange for an affidavit from Trimble denying claims of abuse. Trimble's lawyers want to use the settlement offer against Cook during Trimble's trial, arguing that the offer represents evidence of awareness of guilt. Damn. And that offer represents an attempt to persuade her to commit perjury. Typically, settlement offers are never allowed to be introduced into evidence in a civil trial. That rule promotes the making of a settlement offer in an attempt to resolve civil claims without consuming unnecessary judicial resources. If settlement offers could be used as evidence, no settlement offers would ever be made. Pretty simple to put. Regardless of whether the settlement offers are introduced during trial in open court, the evidence of the settlement offer was made its way into the court of public opinion. The request for letters to the NFL absolving Cook of wrongdoing suggests that Cook is concerned about punishment under the personal conduct policy. Throughout his free agency, there has been chatter in league circles regarding hesitation arisen from the possibility of a suspension. Again, Cook has denied all wrongdoings, and Cook has taken actions against those who have made accusations against him. The settlement offer aimed to resolving all matters and allowing everyone to move on should not have been disclosed to the public, and it would be surprising if the proceeding judge allows it to be used against him in a court against Cook. It's too late to unring the bell, however. The story has made it to the media, and teams that already were skittish about the issue won't be any less skittish about it now. That said, Cook's lawyers will, or at least they should, investigate how the documents were unsealed before and how it ended up in the hands of the Star Tribune. Cook's lawsuit against Trimble and her lawyers arises from efforts to such leverage to leverage him to settle by weaponizing these allegations in the media. Cook's lawyers quite possibly will now contend that settlement offer has been improperly used to smear Cook as well. So this could be blown up back in her face, her lawyers and or whoever did this, if they find that they were the ones that leaked it. But it really is just a weird situation. There's also been a video that has surfaced about Cook. There's been video and pictures. Okay, so I'll see if I can share this picture now. Now that the cat's out of the bag, the weaponization of he said she said has begun, and I'm gonna share this screen because this is pretty rough. This picture of this woman, and listen, if anyone, this is not a good. Now I don't know. There's been a sentiment that this lady is a little bit off her rocker. In the video that has been released by, I think it's her husband that was videotaping it, Cook was at her house trying to leave. She hit him and said she's not going to let him leave. Then she threatened to pull her gun on him, which is really weird. Sounds like a weird lovers triangle thing going on. But this is not a good picture he wants to have surface right now. And I'm going to pull it up here momentarily. Just give me 2 seconds. This picture right here. Can you see that? This is a terrible picture to have surface for him, that this woman is accusing him of assault. And this is the picture that she's saying he did. Can you see that, Ali? Color?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, you guys can see that. I mean, that is not good. Now, listen, I've been with some crazies too, and they ain't never take no picture to try to take me to, court over a bunch of stuff. But I mean, I've never been accused of anything like this. It's just wow. I hope that it's not true, because if she's got this form of evidence to use against him, and documented it as such, he could be in a lot of fucking trouble. A lot of trouble. Now, my question is, why wasn't he not in trouble before? I don't know. Maybe, but I think, and this is what I've heard through the grapevine about it, that, there was infidelity in her marriage, and that it was an embarrassment on her husband, and they wanted to keep it quiet. Since it going public, he has now filed for divorce. So maybe there was him trying to work it out with her. I don't know. That's now shit has hit the fan with all that because of it going public. So I don't know.
I agree with CB83's comment. Why was he not arrested? Domestic violence, I believe if there's any form of domestic violence, let it be from her side or his side, does not matter. I believe the procedure is they get arrested regardless of the situation.
So she didn't call the cops in this domestic violence thing. Again, if I was going to just create a scenario, and this is all hypothetical, it sounds to me like her and him, she had an affair with him. Maybe a one-off, maybe a small thing. Maybe it was nothing, whatever. She wanted to keep it secret from her husband. I don't know when and how this assault took place, but probably her husband became aware of the relationship. This assault took place, and they decided to keep it lock and key and closed because there was infidelity. There's, other factors at play here. But she never called the cops. But now suing him in a civil case, that's why it's civil, and it wasn't, he wasn't arrested for all this. This is where, and maybe the lawyers didn't know, because listen, you don't have to give over your findings before court. Maybe they didn't know that she had pictures. Maybe they didn't know, whatever. And, I don't know. Again, maybe she did it to herself. I don't know. This is a court of law that needs to figure this stuff out. She is a former sergeant in the Army. She is a police officer.
That actually is really good point right there. She's a former officer in the military or sergeant in the military. Sorry, I apologize. Military Code of Justice. If she was in the military at the time, the punishment for infidelity is a dishonorable discharge and forfeiture of all pay and allowances. So
wow.
Yeah,
Well, even if she's no longer in the military but receiving the benefits, could she lose those benefits because of infidelity?
that is very possible. I mean, I don't know the legality of it, but that's part one. And if she's a former like police officer, I think you said.
Yes. No, she is a police officer, not former.
If she is a police officer, then
there's
she
probably
knows
some
the
of that same rules
process.
too. Yeah.
There's some.
But again,
this whole situation is weird. I'm not saying that Dalvin
listen,
Cook
guys,
is right or wrong. The whole thing is
I know.
weird. The whole thing is weird.
I know the did it to herself thing is not what you're missing my point. I'm just saying she could be a psycho bitch. I don't know. Wouldn't be the first chick to pull some crazy shit. Go ask the kicker that the fucking
the whole situation is
the Bills
toxic.
tried to get the other fucking year by rolling his ass up. That bitch was crazy as fuck too. Sorry, they out there. Y'all know it. And if you don't know it, then you finna learn one day, motherfucker. Watch. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know that there's some crazy bitches out there, you finna learn one day. Watch. Anyhow, again, this is a spider web of a crazy story. And I feel like we've only gotten to the tip of this iceberg of what's happening. Because here it is, plain and simple. This is a guy, free agent on the market, looking to get his fucking payday.
Why didn't the NFL investigate this back in 2021? That's another question. So, I mean, all this stuff that's happened. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, El Cap. Don't get me wrong. My point is, this story is so crazy, and the developments on both sides, both Dalvin Cook and the other the whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. I apologize. It's so off the wall. The question now comes why didn't the NFL get involved? Why didn't the police get involved? Why didn't the Military Code of Justice get involved? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's almost like it's so crazy. I don't even know what to believe, bro. That's basically where I'm at. I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I really don't. And
I can understand if one of the three doesn't get involved, but all three of them don't even sniff to see what's what.
But again, this is what happens when there's a love triangle going on. A lot of people want to keep it secret. If she's cheating on her husband, she wants to keep it a secret, at least from her husband. Or if her husband finds out, at least spare him the absolute embarrassment he's gonna have at this point. You know, I don't know. Was this a crazy psycho money grab thing? That could be it too. Again, there is details that are missing in the quote unquote facts we now know. You know what I'm saying? And
you
the
reality, brought up a really good point. Go ahead, Alcal. I'm sorry.
No,
you brought up a really good point there that this could be a money grab. If you really think about it, really sit down and think about it. And before I even say anything, I just want to say I do not condone violence or domestic violence at all. It is wrong, regardless if you're male, female, does not matter, right? It's wrong. Violence is wrong no matter what, right? I have to say that. But I will tell you this. It just so happens that it is so convenient that this information gets leaked now when Dalvin Cook is trying to get the best deal he can get on the market, right? And who's benefiting from it? The people on the other side of his case, because now he's going to force to give them more money. Just being honest, you know what I mean? So that's something to think about as well. You know, it's just like the Deshaun Watson thing, if you really think about it, because when that stuff got leaked, it was on the eve of him being traded away for a big money deal back in the day, right? Same exact scenario. And we have Dalvin Cook going through the same exact thing.
Yeah, no, listen, no lie. The conspiracies are not lost upon me, bro. And not for nothing, but like who benefits from this? Because here's the thing. I don't think so much she's benefiting from it, because why am I going to pay for you? Why am I going to give you hush money, apparently, per se? If you're going to be releasing this shit on me, I don't get paid, so how am I going to pay you? You know what I'm saying? And then on the flip side of that, why would he release it? It does nothing but besmirch what he was apparently trying to keep quiet the whole time. So it's just a really weird deal. It really is. And I mean, listen, this was all the way back in November in 2021. And the video that came out about this, which I don't have handy on me right now. I have it, but I could show it to you, but it doesn't show anything. It's a little bit audio, and the audio ain't working. She does threaten him with a gun. That doesn't help her case none. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't.
If I had to take a shot in the dark, it was the pissed off husband that released all this. That's who it is.
Yeah.
That's who he had the video of her. He released it back in 21. This video that's been out for a while now, but think about that. This video has been out for a while now, since November of 2021, and it's been silent ever since.
Do we know if the husband was in the military as well?
You don't see any gun in the video. I don't know if the husband was in the military. They've been able to keep him pretty out of this situation.
Okay.
But
Just curious.
It always seems like when, and look, I don't know. I'm a Dolphins fan, but I'm just going to say it. I don't give a shit. Anytime the Dolphins are in a tangle of contract talks with somebody, if you got dirt, the Miami Dolphins security team is going to find it and use it to their advantage. Said it. Y'all don't have to believe me, but it's a fact. The Miami Dolphins, top-notch Ross security team. This is a guy who does international business deals. He will check on who he's doing business with. He will find it all. He will then tell when his ex-CIA agents that he's hired on his freaking security team come back with the dossier on you. What can he use to benefit him or to not go to business with you? Look no further than Xavier Howard. That whole friggin' thing came up with him last year with the herpes and the allegations right around contract talks. Who did that? It's weird, man.
That's a really good point. I forgot about that.
I've seen it all the time. The last time we were talking about giving him an extension, there was domestic violence talks from Xavier Howard, a guy who seems to be super quiet. Telling you, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if the palms were greased to the husband from the Dolphins to then put pressure to get people to back out of the Cook deal. So Cook ends up here, and then Ross got the push up. He's got the power and the money to make all that go away. He can go, listen, buddy, got a deal for you. You're going to come and play for the Dolphins for $4.5 million. But I'm going to give that chick that's been giving you a hard time $2.5 million to get out of your life. And I'm going to take care of everything on the NFL. Oh, listen, if they wanted to, if they wanted to keep Wilkins, you can expect that Wilkins dirt to come around to yonder too. I'm just talking straight. I don't know why everybody don't want to hear it, but it's a fact. It's a fact. I've watched it happen for far too long with this team. And now that I've said it, for all you people that don't believe it, and I see plenty of Dolphin fans in chat, they're like, oh yeah, 100% Cap. I know exactly what you're talking about. You now know too. Watch in the years to come. This is not a new game, and it ain't up anytime soon. They're gonna use this again.
You know, I was thinking about this. Jarvis Landry had a domestic issue right around the time when his contract was expiring in a contract year. That came out.
Always find this stuff. It's It's always something that the billionaires, remember what we're talking about here. These guys are billionaires, and that's the money we know about. Okay? That's the money we know about. They wanna sweeten the deal. They need it to work in their favor. They're not gonna mess around. They're gonna use all the weapons that they got, rather than, because that's what the cap does to this, because I can only pay you so much. These are guys that will pay $5 million in security, fucking private eyes following you around to catch you slipping, to save themselves $2 million in cap. Yeah, boy, we've now walked into the crazy zone, because that's what it is. I don't give a damn. Is what it is. So to me, because the NFL hasn't released a statement on this out of 3131, until the NFL releases a statement on this, it's all just hearsay, and it's something that happened back in 2021, and there's no criminal charges. Yeah, it could do a little bit on their image thing, but that could only if this thing goes underneath the rug and she don't come out and release a statement and is on fucking, Wendy Williams and shit, telling her story of what happened, how she was scared for her life on some crazy nonsense. As long as it stays lock and key, he might miss a game, maybe two, probably none. But
she stabbed her husband. The Dolphin realtor is saying something about stabbing her husband. I didn't know she did that too. This gets crazier by the minute, bro.
Well, see, I haven't heard that part of the Dolphins realtor. I do know that her husband filed for divorce. Now, did she stab her husband, or is that something? There's been a lot of misinformation put out. Everything I'm telling you is stuff that, people with a lot more reputation put their lives on, talking about it. So to me, take for it what you will, but as long as it stays where it's at with the quiet of this situation, I think Cook becomes a Dolphin because of this. I know you're going to be like, what do you mean? Da, da, da. If this situation goes quiet and gets resolved one way or another. Now, Cook and his lawyers have wisely countersued for defamation of character. And listen, if this chick did stab, and the pictures are very jarring, that if that was him that did that to her, he's in deep shit. I don't care if she called the cops or not. If she's got proof by, texts and phone calls, because it ain't just a picture or something. I'm sure he texted, you know what I'm saying? This would be nuts. But if this goes quiet and that don't say nothing or do nothing, then all will be forgotten, and he'll end up being on the Dolphins. And it'll be for the price that Chris Greer wanted to get him at, because there'll be some legal fee payments. Oh, don't worry. We've got lawyers on retainer around here. Your legal fees will be paid outside of your contract. That comes along with the new truck and jet skis.
So what you're telling me, we'll get Dalvin Cook at $3 million.
No, but we definitely getting him. We definitely going to pay him no 7.5, 8 like he's looking to get.
No.
We'd be getting him for a bargain. And I'll tell you what, if Dalvin Cook comes to the Dolphins and it's anything less than $6 million in guarantees, you can bet your sweet ass where the other amount of money he wanted went.
I agree with CB83 again. CB83 makes a good point that Dolphins wanted to trade for him. They have to have known about the issue back then. It didn't bother them then, so why would it bother them now?
But they only wanted to trade for him, and the Vikings ended up releasing him. So I don't
Yeah.
think it could have been much of a trade type of situation. I know we were interested and talked to him during the trade talks, but the Dolphins were never interested in paying him the money, because if they were, they would pay him the money now.
Yeah. I think the fact that they released him, that they are looking at it, well, you've been released now, so we're not obligated to pay you that money now.
Well, don't forget, and I made this point last Sunday, that Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs potentially being on the trading block don't help his case as far as being number one on people's Christmas list. And the fucking Giants signed what's his first name? Robinson, the running back that was the from the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
They just signed Robinson to their team. They're not budging on Saquon. Saquon could be sitting and they could say, you know what? We might want to go ahead and trade that guy. They signed James Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Josh Jacobs also said he's sitting out for training camp.
I would if I was Josh Jacobs. He was their whole offense last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a weird
Bahana,
situation.
yes, we are doing the morning show tomorrow. In fact, I have to get it going here. Okay.
Yeah, guys. I'll see you later, Ali. Color. Get some rest, Color.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna need you tomorrow, Color, for real. For real.
I will be there. I don't have to do the car exchange in the morning, so
I'll call you at 5:30.
Yeah, I should be. Up with bells on. So
definitely.
Helicopter's all gassed up and ready to go.
Definitely.
Sweet.
But make sure everybody hits the like button and subscribe. Check out Late Night Exhale. We're premiering our next Saturday at what time you want to go Saturday, Color? 9 or 10?
Oh, that's up to you, bro. That's your gig.
Yep. You have to coordinate with Shake. See what
we'll figure that out.
No game Sunday. So
I got something special to play for you guys. So you guys will definitely
later, Duke.
Later.
Alrighty, guys.
Later, guys. So yeah, this Cook situation again. It's already for as hot as it got there these last couple of days. It's starting to cool down, and things are going quiet. The countersuit from the Cook legislators, they've done some good work in trying to get in front of it and countersuing, which, listen, you can't. I mean, they're right. They have a right to do what they did as well, especially if this lady is stabbing her husband and all this other stuff. Again, unsympathetic in some ways because, it's cheating on her husband, all this other stuff. If she has assault with him, it's not going to bode well. But, it's a shame. I feel bad for Cook because, well, I don't know yet. I reserve my feeling sorry for him because if he put his hands on a woman, that is unacceptable, especially with the picture I shown earlier. But if this is some ruse, some crazy thing, and he got involved with someone who's a little off kilter, then that's not cool either. And I want to reservation, wait to see how this all pans out. But quiet is going to be good. And if it stays silent, listen, the Jets have expressed interest. There's Robert Saleh had said that, he's going to let the GM handle it. But, there's definitely, you want to be involved with a guy like that, a great playmaker. But again, there's, and the Patriots are coming out of the woodwork as being interested, but I guess in some ways it kind of, I don't want to say it makes sense, but it's kind of understandable that Cook having these things going on in his personal life, whoever is at fault, teams are going to be leery between bringing him over and getting ready to accept that sort of baggage. So I know we're not against any of that, as long as he didn't do what he did. Now, I don't know. Maybe they got into a fight with each other. I don't know. None of it's good. It's all bad. And I'm not interested in having the media come and talk to a guy that we say goodbye to Salvin Ahmed or say goodbye to Raheem Mostert and take Cook on, and then all this blow up in our face. We really need to see how this stuff kind of settles out a little bit. But if they do end up signing Cook to the Dolphins, to me, it's like I just said, I don't see how the Ross and Greer and them get involved in a situation like this without knowing all of the details and having some form of resolution to it, because that's how they've done business as of late. It really has. No different than when they spoke about Lamar Jackson and inquired about that. There was, no different than with Deshaun Watson. There was not resolution there, and they pulled the plug on the trade because they didn't know. And the unknown is, in this short time window, could be very detrimental to Cook and his overall career, because the longer this thing that now is out doesn't get resolved, the less likely it is any team is going to pick it up and deal with the problem. And that just needs to happen. They need to go ahead and, now that it's out in the open and it's from a civil thing to the Court of Public Appeals, we need to go ahead and find some form of clarity here. So that's just where I stand with it. Sucks. But, maybe it gets figured out. So everybody hit the like button. I'm going to let the Cook stuff lie for now. I will say this. Jets fans. I'm so sick of Jets fans right now. I'm sick of them. I'm tired of them. First of all, what's his name? Alan Lazard had an injury scare this year. Ain't looking so good with that. Randall Cobb is now on. He had surgery on his ankle back in March. Now he's going to miss some practices. He's ended up on the PUP list. They're the darlings of the NFL. Nothing like feeding Aaron Rodgers' ego like a good old fashioned Hard Knocks. And they are pumping this up. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of looking at a pass they did in practice, and I get it. It was a good pass, yada, yada. Sauce Gardner, still grabbing. I tell you what, NFL, if I see Sauce Gardner with stretched jersey in his hand and no flags, I'm going to lose it, bro. I'm sick of it. The guy is grabby. He holds on to these guys to judge how fast they're going so he can judge which direction they're going to take. Y'all need to get it under control and stop friggin', letting him be the darling as the next great thing, because that's what y'all need is young budding talent for the NFL. If the man can't stop getting penalties, that's on him. But I'm sick of seeing the Jets just gassed up everywhere. Y'all ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing in forever. And to me, Rodgers is a little too old, a little too late. For a team that doesn't have the type of offensive talent I think is going to be able to give Rodgers what I think he can be at this stage in his career. Now, I could be wrong. They got a really good defense. But goodness gracious, man, I'm just not into it. Not. And the Bills fans, God, dude, I'm so sick of Bills fans. You know, I get it, Bills fans, that I've never seen a fan base so proud of participation trophy awards, losing to, the Chiefs or the Bengals or whomever in the playoffs is good enough. It's always good enough. Maybe it was good enough 3 years ago, but when is it not good enough? When is it? I mean, all year last year, I had to deal with the Bills being the darlings of the NFL. And then I had to deal with the NFL doing everything in their power to help them appear like they're what they are, or what they projected them to be. The Bills are the greatest team, most higher power. Dude, what did they do this offseason? What did you add? You missed out on Hopkins. You're the same team with the same game plan, running it back for a fourth year in a row, and now it's supposed to work with the Jets getting better, with the Dolphins getting better, with the AFC getting stacked and loaded. You're just going to be top dogs next to you're going to be Chiefs than you again. Everyone's a year older. Everything, you lose your defensive coordinator because now your head coach is going to do that. It just seems like they got a lot of things moving around, but it's all just a carbon copy of what they already did. And you want to know what they're going to do? They're going to play opportunistic, and then they're going to say, Allen, help us win the game. Allen, do what you do. Run 100 yards in the fourth quarter to pull us out of this jam. How many times is that going to work? It's worked. But it ain't worked enough to get you the big games against the better opponents. And now in your own division, the Dolphins, dark horse to win it all, along with the Jets, who just got a better quarterback. Well, better in career. Maybe not better right now than Allen, but fuck, he's still Aaron Rodgers. He's a Hall of Famer. The other teams aren't going to take their pound of flesh. Especially when you're rolling out the same guys. You lose Edmonds, your linebacker. You're just going to change it up? I don't think so. There's no change. They have become predictable. And being predictable in the NFL with all this talent is a recipe for disaster. It really is. I know, Kevin. He goes, remember, we nearly beat them with Skyler. And now we're way better, 100%. A defense that was decimated. We have a better defensive coordinator than we've had all year last year, obviously. Now, I don't think it's a stretch of the imagination to say that Fangio's better defensive coordinator than Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores is a great defensive coordinator. But Fangio, top 3 in the NFL right now? Top 3 at least, right? To me, everything about this defense is better. The defense could be better than the offense, and the offense was top 10. All the offense needs to do to stay as great as it was last year is keep Tua healthy. And shit, with Chosen Anderson and Braxton Berrios, we could see top 8 offense in the NFL. I still think this defense with Fangio and the talent can be better than that. Explain that to me. And the Bills are just they're gonna roll out the same game plan they had the last couple of years and just expect to just do what they do. Allen, win us this game late in the game. And it does what it does every year to him. Those hits start mounting up. And when teams are bigger and better, where you can't let Allen just run, he's got to throw it. Doesn't work out. It hasn't. My tune will change come week 5. How about this? How about week 19, week 18, or excuse me, week 19, week 20, 18, 19 in the playoffs? That's when I'm going to be interested in what my tune is. Whether the Bills are in it or not, whether they win the East or the Dolphins do or somebody else. I don't know who else it could be. It's either us or you. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So, I mean, listen, the Madden curse is real. If Allen goes down and misses the year with some kind of leg, I would imagine to be a leg injury with all the running that team demands of that guy. And let's face it, he's a damn good running quarterback, but he ain't no Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson ain't taking the hits he's taking. They're adding up. They are. It's kind of like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill gets tackled, but he don't get laid out very often because he's just too quick. He ain't letting those hits come to him. He gonna get down before they could put the wood on him. So, to me, they're and what's this? The last year of your window? Come next year, I don't know what the Bills are gonna do. They got to get it from Allen, and I don't think they can. Allen, to me, has proven he's a guy that can't get him over the hump. Tua is a guy that has yet to proven he can get him there. There's a different scenario here. Tua has yet to prove he can get him there, while Allen has proven to me he can't do it. He can do a lot, but he can't do that. And that's the problem. That's the problem with Allen. And, for the Jets, to me, the Jets are a 9-win team with Rodgers. And I don't know. 9 wins could get you into the playoffs as a wild card this year. Shit, 11 wins probably wins a division. The AFC is stacked. So, is what it is. And yeah, Big Joe, Grizzly, our window is short too, but I still think with all our young talent, we haven't even paid our quarterback yet. Come 2025, not 2024, but 2025, we're surplus of upwards of 100. I think it's like 118 million on the cap. We have yet to even tap into our 2025, which we can do easily this offseason and keep the team intact that we have while adding through the draft. Our window could reopen into a much better window as long as we have answers at quarterback, certainties at it. So that's what we need. The other thing, Patriots, this is the beginning of the end for them. They're going to be rolling out with Bailey Zappi by week 3, and they just suck. They're just not going to do it. They're not. So, Kevin Lee asks, El Cap, what's your take on week 1? Does Miami get payback on the Chargers? I'm telling everyone they remember. So, typically defenses start fast, as you know. It's always the defense that starts fast in the NFL. And then come around week 3, offenses start really clicking. And then later in the year, defenses show up, and then everyone's at their, I think our defense, because we kept continuity, is going to start extra fast. And I think our offense is not going to miss a beat. Not going to miss a beat. So the Chargers are going to show up against the Dolphins, not knowing what to expect from a defense. And I think that's going to be the deciding factor in that game. Our defense is going to eat. Our offense is going to operate like it did in its better performances last year, not its lackluster performances. And that's going to be enough to beat them by 10 points. That's what I see happening. Any more questions before I shut this down, y'all? I can't wait for week 1. I can't wait. Super stoked about it. All kinds of good camp stuff going to be happening here soon. John asks, do you think Tua will stay healthy? I don't know, John. Will he play every game and not miss any time due to some form of injury? I would say no. I say something's going to come up, whether it's an ankle, a knee, a finger, whatever. He's going to miss some time because of that. I certainly hope it ain't more than 2.5 games, because that's just not going to be good for him. My main concern is the concussions right now, because to me, outside of football, that's a real serious issue for him and his literal. I mean, listen, your body and your health, it's terrible. You got to deal with it your whole thing. You mess this up, you can't deal with nothing. It could affect him as a husband, as a father, as a person. I'm not interested in him taking that type of stuff. He comes out next year and there's more concussions. I'm off him. I'm way, way off him. If he comes out and there's a nagging injury and he has to play through it and then miss some time or, whatever, we'll see how that works. We'll see if we get in the playoffs and what kind of noise he does in the playoffs. Do I see a time when the Dudfins fan base won't be 87% casuals? I don't know. How about a time when your fan base, the Bills, are not 99.9% casuals? Because the only thing they're good at doing is falling through tables and hitting concrete. I don't know why people get mad when they show concussion. I really don't, Big Joe. To me, it's weird. I don't know. It's kind of like, and Cap for Life pointed this out earlier, when Deshaun Watson was talked about being an option for the Dolphins, they were all over him and saying, this guy's a terrible person, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it was a guy paying for sex. Is essentially what it was. Yeah, there's deviancy there, but he didn't commit any crimes that I can understand. Maybe paying for sex is illegal where he's at or whatever, and that's true, but wasn't any weird, wasn't any underage or anything crazy like that, and it wasn't, no violence involved. Yeah, there might be some kinkiness, but hey, to each their own. But on the flip side of that, this Dalvin Cook stuff comes out, and I don't see any concern about it from the fan base, which is weird to me. And you're right, Cap. It is weird. And I feel like there's a young part. I think there's a mixture in this fan base right now. There's a real young part, and there's a older part, many years, that are people that just want to win so badly that when we drafted Tua, it was a symbol to, this is what it is. We tanked our season. We purged the roster to then do it, and this was the guy. And they bought so much into it that if it doesn't work out, they're going to look back at these last couple of years and go, this is a waste. I wasted my life. And, I mean, dude, it's football. If it comes down to wasting your life, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You need to get a life, Don't get me wrong. I'm a guy wearing a purple fucking jacket talking about this shit. But this is part of my life, but I ain't going to let it affect me personally amongst my family and my business and my job and stuff like that. I don't do that, but I understand how much a Dolphins loss can hurt. We all know that pain, but I wonder if there's just too much of your personalness tied to Tua Tagovailoa. It's something I've seen an absolute dark part of this fan base rise. Now, I will say this year, I don't see it as much. The absolute vitriol that these people have when defending Tua, but I also don't see the attack from the fan base either into hating the kid as well. So there's kind of this waiting game from us. I think the ones that were overwhelmingly in love with Tua also are Dolphin fans for the most part first, and that if he doesn't work out this year, we need to do something. And then there's the Dolphin fans that had no hope for Tua, that after his performances last year, they saw some good things, but come at the end of this year, we're going to move off him or we're going to stick with him. So we're all kind of in the same boat. We might be on other ends of the boat from where we believe with this guy, but there's not two boats now. There's not this boat for the Tua camp, this boat for the non-Tua camp. We are a together fan base, and we're going to find out answers when it comes to that. So, but yeah, guys, that's all I got for today. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you guys have shared the video. Let people know. Checking out all the great content on the network. Got all the guys top of the tailgate in the morning. Make sure you guys are checking it out with Color and Ali. We'll see you guys next time. Fins up.